Hey guys, today we're doing a bit of a review, well, not really a review, it's more called likes slash dislikes on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. So I've had this phone for about 3 weeks now, so I think I have had enough time to sort of have a valid opinion on this phone. But before I get into this, first of all, like I mentioned in the last video, don't get this speed and screen protector. I still have it on here. I'm kind of beating a dead horse here, but don't get wet applied screen protectors. They suck. Either get like the super expensive glass ones or get normal plastic ones. I got this one from LK on Amazon. I haven't installed it yet, but I have an LK screen protector on my Galaxy S10 and I quite like it. So yeah, it's good. If I don't like it or whatever, I will mention it in a future video. But yeah, only downside, it has like the U-shaped cutout instead of just a hole. So, oh well. It's not worth dealing with the speed and screen protector with that. Next, I got a microphone. It is this one right here. And I think it sounds quite nice, so that's good. It was a bit expensive, which I don't like. It's quite small. It's meant to go on like your neck. So that's kind of nice. Only downside is that it doesn't come with an adapter. So you can't use like you can't use it with your smartphone. A modern smartphone, I meant. Like, this doesn't have a headphone jack, so you can't use this with that. You need to buy a USB-C to 3.5mm headphone adapter. So it is what it is. But I'm using it with my S10 because S10 has headphone jack. Duh. Next up, I actually have 3 cases now. So I recently got the Spigen Cryo case. It's supposed to help cool your phone during gaming, and I think it has a really cool texture and it's nice and grippy. It's not too expensive. And yeah, I just think it looks really awesome. In fact, let me install it quickly to show you what it looks like. I just think it complements the sky blue very well. I have the school wallpaper here as well. So yeah, this is like a complete still look. Next, just one last thing. Subcase. If you guys are watching this, make this kickstand bigger on your S23 Ultra because this kickstand needs to be wider. I dropped the phone twice like this, where it topped forward and fell down. Because the phone is a bit top heavy, you know, big cameras, motherboard, circuits, all that stuff lives up here. Phone is top heavy, it fell forward. So if this kickstand is wider, you will not have as much of that issue. I understand because maybe of structural integrity, maybe the impact resistance will be a bit worse, but I do think this kickstand is too thin for a phone of this size and weight. So make it a lot wider, just saying, on your next phone. All right, on to the video. Enough with all the PSA stuff. So I made a bit of a list here of my likes and dislikes. We're gonna start negative for like 10 minutes. We're gonna talk about the dislikes. I will have timestamps for the dislikes and the likes and the conclusion and all that. So if you don't wanna hear me ramble about what sucks on this phone, just skip ahead. Also, follow me on Twitter, friend me on Discord or whatever, subscribe, all that fun stuff if you like this content. I will have more in-depth videos, speed tests, photo comparisons to Galaxy S10, which I'm recording with. No comparisons with S21. Maybe I'll compare to LG Wing because I have that too. So if you guys want to see more content, just subscribe, share, like all that fun stuff. All right, on with the video. So first of all, the curved screen, and yes, I'm gonna use S Pen for the whole video because, you know, it's fun. Anyway, the curved screen, it sucks for the S Pen. So I'm just gonna check that off. Well, I'm gonna show a demonstration, of course. So say you're creating a note, let me full screen this, and I was like doing it like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like going to the edge. Oh, the S Pen slipped off. Oh, it slipped off. It's annoying, you know? It's also annoying when you're like watching YouTube and you want to use your S Pen and swipe up to go home as a gesture. It's annoying. I don't like that. So I think Samsung, make this a flat screen. It doesn't make sense for something that's meant to be like a large canvas. Battery life could be better. It's mediocre. I think if Samsung managed to make like iPhone 13 Pro Max battery life, that would be great. But they don't. So yeah. As you can see here, it's a bit meh. I mean, my screen on time looks good today because I just use Reddit and some other stuff. But yeah, it's about a 20-hour phone, about. I don't think it's that great. If you're using data, like 5G or whatever, expect screen on time of about, I want to say like 5G maybe 4 hours, 4G maybe 6 hours screen on time. Wi-Fi, if you're doing like a lot of YouTube and stuff, 7 to 8. Maybe 10 if you're only watching Netflix. But given like how the processor is, if you're doing anything intensive like gaming or recording videos, the battery life is going to plummet a bit. But I will say, if you are a heavy user like that, get this, don't get the base model, because this phone will last you, is the one that's most likely to last you the full day. Well, maybe the S22 Plus, because weirdly enough, it has a better battery life than this. So, but this is more RAM, so, yeah, anyway. Next up, One UI still has weird stutters and lags, which stock Android 12 does not have. This is the newest version of One UI. I don't know why it still does this. For example, when you open a camera app, and you close it, open it, close it, open it, close it, you can see it's kind of slow at doing that and it stutters sometimes. Even then, there's a lot of weird stutters here and there, so yeah. One UI is still meh. So, nothing in a box. I know I'm kind of being a dead horse again, but no screen protector, no headphones, no headphone jack, no nothing. Not even S Pen tips. I kind of chipped my S Pen. But yeah, that just kind of sucks. They're making them more expensive, but they're including less and less every year. Next, I feel like the S Pen interactions should be expanded to every app. So, for example, the interactions doing work with these apps. I wish it was for all apps, because that'd be quite nice. You could like customize it for what you want to do in every app and whatnot, but it's only for these apps. I mean, interactions are still kind of cool. Like, I like how you can go home and do recent apps and the little emoji appears whenever you screw up the action. It's kind of fun. Next, I feel like a wireless mouse mode would be cool. Like, you know, in Android, you can have a wireless mouse and it shows like a mouse cursor. I think the S Pen could do that. You know, there's this, but not from a distance. And doesn't quite work like a mouse. So this is Bluetooth. I feel like it could work from a distance. That'd be kind of nice. As I'm pretty sure it's Bluetooth. Oh, and quick feature here. I really like the smart widgets on One UI 4.1. So that's quite nice. You can just scroll through and be productive and all that. But that's a like, so we can't talk about it in this section. But yes, let's just check these two off. Night mode is very soft. I feel like the photos could be a bit sharper in night mode. The telephoto pictures are also a bit soft. I'll talk more about these in my photography comparison, or just photography video in general. Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 / Exynos 2200 performance is a bit annoying. Mainly if you're gaming and doing a lot of video recording. The phone will get a bit toasty and throttle. I have a 3D Mark result here that will show the stability of it. Actually, it's not that great. Right here, 59% stability. You can see the highest best loop and lowest loop score. I'll probably redo this test after I get the April update in my speed test video. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing. And like I said, these are a bit soft. I feel like they'd be sharper. They can fix the photo stuff with updates. They cannot really fix the processor with updates. Sharp corners are annoying. The speech in case is okay. It's kind of rounded, but yes, I understand why they're doing it, so it looks like a notebook or whatever. But Samsung, please give us like round corners or something. Keep the screen square though. Square screen, rounded corners. That's what we want. The speakers kind of lack bass. I feel like the speakers on the Galaxy S10 are better. I don't know why, just because it's kind of eh. S Pen, a speaker on the wrong side. I feel like the speaker could at the very least be on this side here. I understand why they're doing it, because you know, if you put the S Pen on the right side, there will not really be room for it, as you can see. because of the cameras and stuff. All this stuff takes up a lot of room in the phone. So yeah, but I think the speaker could have very least moved because there's a haptic motor there. It could move the motor here. I don't know. Just saying. Also, the flash is really dim. I was comparing the flash on the S10 versus this. The flash is dim, I know nobody really uses flash. We have night mode and all that crap. But there are times where you need flash when you're too lazy to turn the light on or whatever. Feel like the flash on this phone is a bit dim. It is brighter on older phones. Next, bezels are asymmetrical because they basically recycled the design from the Note 20 Ultra. So that kind of sucks. I think Samsung could make the top and bottom bezels smaller and get rid of the hole punch next year. And that'd be quite nice. Make it all symmetrical. It'd look really nice. Although maybe don't grab a selfie camera because the quality of the selfie camera is very nice. Probably will look like crap if they get rid of it next year because the technology isn't there yet. The haptics are great for user experience. They are bad for notifications and ringtones. I can demonstrate it here. So we have notifications here. Like, even if it's on a table, you can only barely hear it. It's not that intense. I did kind of do a workaround for this. I mean, I use sound and I have a Galaxy watch, but for anyone else, they just have to do like basic call and zig, zig, zig for the notification vibration pattern. And the vibration intensities, max them out, and toggle this on down here as well. Came in the March updates. So yeah, but like I said, for UX they're great. So let me open the clock app here, and when I move this, you guys will hear it vibrate. Let me put closer to the microphone. Pretty awesome. So yes, for user experience, like using keyboard, gestures, and all that, the haptics are awesome. They are not good for calls and notifications. So I recommend either leaving the phone on sound or like sound here, yeah, or just get a smartwatch where you can get notifications from. It sucks, but it's what Samsung did. I think what they should have done is put two motors, like one that goes vibrates up and down, which is what older phones did, like on the Z-axis, and the one that's on the X-axis, which is what this one has. So they'd use this one for haptics and this one for calls and notifications. Although there might not be enough space to put two. I don't really think any other phone has done that. So it would be really cool, but I don't think they'll bother doing that. And that's kind of it for dislikes. Like other than that, the phone is pretty nice. I find it kind of hard to find things to dislike about this phone. Like this is easily Samsung's best phone yet, and I think it's most consistent they have been. Like I know it's the Ultra. I cannot speak on behalf on the base models, but I feel like the base model is probably quite similar in experience to this phone, aside for the worse battery life and the less RAM and the smaller screens and all that. But they're better in some ways, like the better ergonomics on smaller models, for example. So yeah. All right, likes. The display is amazing. As you can see here, portrait mode, it's awesome. Landscape mode is awesome. It's just a square screen. It's great for YouTube, great for Netflix, great for all that. Super bright display, gets dim at night. Very, very comfortable on the eyes. It is an awesome display. There's no complaints about it. Super smooth too. No real issues with that. Fingerprint scanner works great. As you can see here. Sometimes I screw up the position, but yes, it's not the fastest. I think there's like a Vivo phone that has a faster scanner, but the one on the S22 Ultra is still pretty good. I think it's the same as what the S21 fingerprint scanner had, but I think with software, like maybe a new processor, the new AI engine or whatever on some new processors might have made it a bit faster, but yeah, hopefully next year what they'll do is make it have a bigger area. I think that would be a nice improvement. Next, the S Pen is very fun to use and very responsive. You know, you can do like notes and all that other stuff. You can do like magnify and look at all this stuff. Bunch of cool tools. My favorite use though is for gaming. So let me load up a quick game here. So here I have Bloons Tower Defense. You can see you can use the S Pen to place, you know, all your little monkeys and stuff. Wow, this game is really nostalgic for me. I remember when this came out like 10 years ago or something. But yes, you can use your S Pen to place all these elements onto the screen. So the S Pen is great mainly for like landscape games like this, where like tower defense games, strategy games, all that sort of thing. Not so useful for portrait games, maybe for doing like drawing, of course, duh, it's a pen, but like maybe for Sudoku or whatever, if you're into that sort of thing, puzzle games, maybe in board games, but you might as well play a real board game. But you get the idea. The S Pen is quite useful for this type of thing, and I quite like that. And of course, it has other uses, but there's like a billion videos that showed uses. I just thought that for gaming, it's kind of cool. Just use that not many people show. And it's very responsive. Only downside is the responsiveness that you were talking about is only in Samsung Notes. For example, you use coloring the pen up app and you color, say this for example, start coloring, you'll immediately notice, it won't be appearing on camera, but you'll notice that the responsiveness is not as good as in Samsung Notes. So that kind of sucks. And I mentioned this already, where a square display is great for YouTube and all that. Performance is pretty awesome. 12 gigs of RAM. I also set this to 8 gigs of RAM plus. I'll make a video explaining why I did that. It works great. You can do this with your edge panels. Open up, I don't know, which app should I open up? Twitter or whatever. You could do split screen. And if you do split screen, turn processing speed on, then you get 120 Hertz. Also in Galaxy Labs, under advanced features, then Labs, you can turn this on and you can hide the status bar so you get even more content. So yes, multitasking, performance, all that, pretty awesome. Just gaming and battery life and video recording phone is a bit iffy because it gets hot, throttles, blah, blah, blah. There's no Apple A15, so, but in terms of features, it's awesome. Next up, we have, oh yes, the vapor chamber. Actually, it does a pretty good job of cooling the phone. I didn't notice it throttling much at Geekbench. I will talk about that in the speed test video. The zoom is top of the line. I think it was a bit soft, but it's still pretty sharp, like on single subjects. Once again, I'll talk about that in the future video. Even at like 4K 30 FPS, if you're zooming in on 20x, max on 4K 30, it'll be quite sharp and usable. So this is definitely like the best phone for zooming and all that. Even then, the cameras in general look pretty awesome, but yeah. Portrait mode is amazing, very good detection. The haptics are amazing for user experience, which I showed before. The cameras are great for the most part. The anti-reflective lens coating, like to prevent lens flare, is awesome. There's like, when the power went out a few days ago, we were using candles. There's 4 candles and I was using my camera versus the S10 here. And I noticed the S10 had like 4 light things reflecting because there's 4 candles. The Ultra here only had 1 and it's very faint. So a major improvement in that department. All right, I noticed that the night videography works very well, minimal noise. Moon photos are awesome as expected. Everyone knows that people take a million moon photos. The sky blue color is very nice, and 4 years of OS updates are top of the line. This phone will get the most updates out of any Android phone. The only phone that will get more updates will be like an iPhone. So yeah, even beats the Pixel in that regard. And that is about it. It is quite honestly Samsung's best phone yet. If you have a Galaxy Note 10 Plus, upgrade. If you have a Note 20 Ultra, wait another year or maybe 2 more years. If you have an S series, like an S10 or something, it will take a little bit of time to adjust to the large size. But I feel like with, the added benefits, the awesome zoom and, the larger screen and the S Pen and the extra RAM, all this sort of stuff, it just adds to the experience. So I do think everyone should at least try a Note device at least once in their life, they may end up liking it more than they realize, because like, they're like, oh, that pen, I'll never use a pen. And that's true, I barely use a pen, but whenever I do, I feel like, oh, it's actually kind of cool. That being said, the pen should not be the reason why I buy this phone. You should be buying it for the cameras, the display, the extra RAM, all that sort of stuff. It'll probably last the longest out of free phones. Like with the 4 years of updates to their phones, but it will probably age worse on those phones than on this phone. So yeah, that being said, S Pen is still pretty cool. And that is about it. I would say get this phone. I will make more in-depth videos in the future on some of the other parts of this phone, but this is like an overall general view of what I think about the phone. And thank you guys for watching. Once again, subscribe, hit like, follow me on Twitter, Discord, all that fun stuff. If you have any questions, you can just like DM me on there and I'll answer them. I'm also on Reddit, of course, because everyone is. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and have a good one.